This is Hidden Killers Week in Review.
A look back at the most prolific stories of the week.
Welcome to the podcast. If you'd like to listen to an ad-free version of this episode and all of our episodes, then search True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts and press subscribe. That's our premium channel where all of our ad-free and advanced episodes live, all in one place. True Crime Today Premium Plus. Search it on Apple Podcasts and press subscribe. Even try it for 3 days free.
Not all monsters are under the bed. Some are sleeping next to you. Welcome to Hidden Killers with Tony Brueski, featuring retired FBI Special Agent and Chief of the Counterintelligence Behavioral Analysis Program, Robin Dreeke.
It's one thing to look at, okay, how is Diddy going to process all of these things from his perspective, which I think is pretty much almost an answer of he's not. He's just going to keep thinking that he's unstoppable, and he's in the right no matter what. But when you're talking about the kids and those who were around him, if they're taking all of this in with any semblance of reality, this has got to be almost like grief, where you're going to go through the stages of all of that, the anger, the bargaining, the you name it, because life has changed fundamentally as they know it going forward. It's not what it was. It never will be what it was. And you're losing something that was a positive force in their life, dare I say. I'm not saying, assaulting people is positive, but I'm saying more so the fame, the access to things and life was a positive force in their life. And now suddenly all of that has changed. And then on top of that, you're getting called out for the things that you were doing that you thought were okay. That's got to be a lot for anybody to take on. I'm not in any way, trying to have pity on him, but it's a lot for a brain.
Yeah, and you hit it right there. Robert Greene, Laws of Human Nature. There are self-identities being assaulted right now and being put aside, told it's wrong. So their identity of how they've seen themselves in the world is being challenged and being discarded, really. Mm-hmm. So what I'm hoping they have in this moment, which I hope everyone has in these moments, because we all have fantastic, humbling moments from time to time, not to necessarily to this degree, but I'm really hoping for them to make it through this is that there is a great loving critic in their life that is a truth teller, that is a truth bomb, that has a good grasp on what a healthy relationship is and what healthy behaviors are, that can kind of be there and start guiding them as they're working through the emotions of their identity being crashed around them, kind of re-establishing who they are. Mm-hmm. Because every time that who we are is challenged by those around us, we get very defensive, our insecurities flare up, and we react, violently sometimes against it, as in the cases here potentially. And so what it takes is someone to help us readjust and remind us, and hopefully remind these kids, these actions aren't all of who you are. Who you are is still in there. So let's go back to who we are, and let's bring that good, healthy little boy or little girl or whoever it was before you start being corrupted by the misidentifying bad behaviors around you, start really grabbing hold and starting to bring that back out, because that's what needs to happen here is some great therapy, because their personal identity is in the process, I think, of being destroyed.
And as well, individuals who are brought into these things, it just makes you wonder, like, what were they thinking going into this? Most of people, you're being hired for these sort of jobs. It's the party type life. Okay, you're going to be a stewardess, you're going to be serving, you're doing this. You're probably not thinking, at least I hope you're not thinking, I hope it's not that prevalent enough that you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to be assaulted on this job. But then that happens, and then even the safeguards kind of come down as well. We're hearing the captain, as allegations, failed to do anything. Just kind of blew it off of like, well, it's Diddy. It's kind of comes along with it. But obviously, none of this behavior is okay. You can't just brush that off and go, yeah, well, he's going to do what he's going to do, because you can't. That's not the world we live in today. But it seems like we did for a while.
I know there's a few things on this. The first is one of the reasons why this also bothered me so much was because now we got to start taking a look at this captain. Mm-hmm. Is this a one-off that it just happened on this cruise or this charter, or was it multiple charters? And so I'm going to reveal something embarrassing about myself here. I watch a show that it gives me a good insight into this. I love Below Deck. Okay. And so I love watching Below Deck, whether it's Below Deck Mediterranean, Below Deck itself, I just love, because that is the great human condition I'm watching. People under stress with alcohol doing really stupid things. And all I'm doing is so when this popped up, I'm like, oh yeah, I get this. I get this world again from a reality TV show optic, obviously. But I know from at least watching that this kind of behavior that Diddy did and his family did is cause for them being kicked off the charter. So that's why I when I first saw this as like, hey, we've really got to take a look at this cap now as well. And the people that allowed this to happen. Again, this is one stewardess's claim, and I've seen in the show that, hey, you can have some crazy, and she might be a crazy, but at the same time, it's going to take time and resource to interview everyone on the crew, establish patterns of behavior, talk to past charter guests to see what kind of things are going on there. So, see what I mean? Yeah. From one little puff of smoke, because we already have a pattern of behavior with Diddy established, we got to do a full-blown investigation in this area to see if there's even more to go at.
Yeah, and from all the smoke that is there, and all the other smoky fires that we've been told are out there, it does seem like there's anywhere they went, it really was that bad boy behavior. Quite, I mean, and they sang about it, they rapped about it. It was directly in front of us the whole time, and we're like, I don't think any of us really knew. I don't know. I hope we didn't know just quite how dark it was, but my God.
And now the world knows I like Below Deck.
I don't know what's more tragic in this story.
That is pretty sad. I'm a reality. You can imagine, because I'm a human behavior guy. I love reality shows. Between that and if you're suffering some way in Alaska in the middle of nowhere, especially the show Alone, I love that stuff. I mean, because look at all the reading I do.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Now
I don't like scripted stuff at all. Well, although, reality's kind of scripted, but anyway.
Welcome to the podcast. If you'd like to listen to an ad-free version of this episode and all of our episodes, then search True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts and press subscribe. That's our premium channel where all of our ad-free and advanced episodes live, all in one place. True Crime Today Premium Plus. Search it on Apple Podcasts and press subscribe. Even try it for 3 days free.
Let's be honest. Nothing kills the thrill of a good murder mystery like a commercial for laundry detergent. It's like someone slapping a closed sign on your favorite dive bar. But you're not here for that, are you? You're here for the good stuff. So ditch the ads and upgrade to True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts. With True Crime Today Premium Plus, you get your crime straight. No chaser. Commercial free with extended interviews and early access. It's like getting the bartender's special when the bar's already closed. Search for True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe and drink it all in.